Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Roxy Rose, if you don't already know me, and this is a vlogtober series. If you are new here and like my personality, like my face, please consider to hit that subscribe button. It is free. And thank you guys so much for joining me today. So, if you are returning, welcome back, family. Yesterday I binge watched Deaf You. Yes, I did. And it's on Netflix, guys. I wanted to come on and tell y'all about it. So if you didn't see it and you don't like spoilers, you might want to watch it first and have your own opinion, then come back to my video. If you don't care for watching it or don't care about spoilers, just continue watching me, okay? So I wanted to go back on my history with deaf culture. I used to be so good at signing. I lost so much of it because I do not practice anymore. I know my letters, I know some words, and I lost a lot of it though. So I used to have a deaf friend and I used to communicate with her every day. We would chill. And yeah, I learned so much. However, prior to this, I knew already some words in my letters because of Pathfinders and church. So when we would like perform a song, they would teach us in sign language so we can perform it. They taught us our letters, and just having a deaf friend after that just helped build my language skills. So now with my son, I have taught him how to finger spell. I have taught him how to spell his name, what did I tell him? Like small sentences. But the thing is, when you don't practice every day, it's not like in your mind. That's what I know and what I am accustomed to in deaf culture. Now, the other day, prior to seeing Deaf You, I was telling my family, I'm like, I really miss signing sometimes. Like, I wish I could reconnect with my friend who's deaf. I should really go on YouTube more and really practice daily on YouTube, because there are so much sign language teachers on YouTube who do a great job, and you actually really learn sentences. So but as I said, if you're not doing it daily, it's not going to stick in your mind. And then I see on my recommendations Deaf You, and I'm like, that looks so interesting. I open it up and they say it's Gallaudet University, and I was like, what? Because I used to watch the Foster Family. One of the I don't know if it was all of them who went to Gallaudet, but Gallaudet was mentioned a lot in the Foster Family, and that's where I really became to know that there is a school, a university, or college. I know in the States you guys kind of say it's the same, but university for deaf culture. And I was like, okay, let me watch this. I seen two black guys in the preview, so I'm like, this is interesting. So in the beginning, one girl said there's like 700 girls to 300 guys. So while I'm watching, I'm like, where are the black women? And I was like, okay. I go on Twitter, and then I see some people were complaining about the same thing prior to. So I think this show came out before, but it just came out on Netflix. So they were complaining as well. And there were black women saying like from past history, there were always black women. And I seen someone complaining, saying, oh, their daughter is black. While they were filming this, they were in that year, but they weren't being filmed. So I seen a lot of people complain about there is no black woman as well. They did not even show black culture. They showed, actually, let me not lie, they showed a girl doing a poetry slam. She did a poetry for her girlfriend. So there was a lot of black people doing the poetry slam in the background, but you can't hear them speak, you can't hear their story. So if there is another season, I really hope that they can bring black culture in it, show black culture at Gallaudet. Um, what I seen with the two black guys, they were like always calling out on the Caucasian culture, saying, "Oh, like that's people, like white people stuff and things like that." And yeah, so even like I don't know if you've seen the scene where he was trying to dance. Well, the girl wanted him to dance because deaf people could feel the vibration. He could hear in one ear. So he's like, no, I'm not going to be able to dance the way I want to. And she was mad because she's like, oh, she doesn't see any color, like just feels the music. And then he gave in, which I do understand his point and her point as well. Like sometimes when you go out with friends, you do have to adapt to the situation, to the different culture, and if she does end up going to a black club, she also has to adapt to that, by feeling the music as well. But I understand what he means. He doesn't want to dance the way he wanted to. So he basically ballroom danced with her, even though, it wasn't that type of club. But yeah, what else didn't I like? So yeah, they said there was just so many people, 700 girls to 300 guys. So why, if there are so many girls, were all the men hooked on this one chick, Alyssa? Why? Like four guys. Well, like, yeah, basically the whole cast liked her. The whole cast liked her. One guy got her pregnant. And T. One guy was like, oh, I like her. One guy, the guy who liked her, it was his friend who got her pregnant, and he's like, yo, how you did that to me. And then the other friend, it's like they're all friends who like one girl, which was weird. And then she's like, yeah, I have daddy issues. And her daddy seemed a bit narcissistic. But they did say that deaf people are sometimes assholes, which is understandable because you have to really say like what's on your mind when you're deaf. I feel like me, I'm like a person who likes to keep my feelings in, like to be reserved. If I get mad, I shut down. But like being deaf, it's like you always have to talk and sign and like really say what's on your mind. So yeah. But I really wondered, why was everyone hooked on this one girl, Alyssa? And the other girl, Cheyenne. So I'm assuming she's a big YouTuber since people were hating on her and stuff, and she had a lot of followers. And she was really trying to fit in, but she says she doesn't sign like the elites. And basically she wants people to like her, but she's trying to find her place. In the end, I was actually crying for her because she said she dropped out of Gallaudet. And I've been in places where people try to belittle me and put me down, and sometimes I quit stuff and leave because I don't want to be in that situation. But then I'm like, why did I do that? Why did I leave? I should have just proved my worth. So I feel she should have stayed at Gallaudet, but that's not my choice. That's hers. I do hope she is doing good. She wanted to go in interpreter music route, so that seems very well. But yeah, so they really tried to talk crap about her videos, saying, oh, she's like over saying her mouth, but maybe that's why she has a lot of followers. uh so if you personally, like me, I'm not deaf, but like sometimes I remember when I was learning to sign, I would be yelling. And then this guy is like, yo, just talk normally because they could read your lips, you know? So maybe her on camera, she's trying to enunciate to, because she's deaf, she's trying to enunciate to the hearing people. Most of her subscribers are hearing, she said. So yeah, basically she wanted to talk and use her mouth so people could see what she is saying. And the elite club were haters. And I believe maybe they kept showing the elite club because the elite probably financed the film. But I really, really feel they should have showed more culture in Gallaudet. Someone on Twitter posted the statistics of like the people of color, and the people of color, I believe, outrank the non-people of color. And they were saying like they had enough people to do this film and show the different areas. Like they showed one Asian, but he's an elite too. So I felt like the elite was really running this film after all that thinking. If they're not showing the black culture. And the two black boys, it was like, oh yeah, like, okay. The two black boys who were in the film were like, okay, we made it out the hood. But I'm pretty sure, aren't there not no black elites? No? Okay. Or like even the women of color, I would have loved to hear their stories. I loved hearing the guys' stories, you know. But yeah, I wanted to also address that on Twitter I seen a black girl saying that it's sad how therapists do not like feel like there's not a lot of therapists for deaf people, is what she was saying. And especially around a community where there's a lot of deaf people, there's not a lot of therapists. Also, they I wish I could find a tweet. They need to find like people to help them and understand them, you know? Especially if you're black, you sometimes want to go to a black person who could relate to you, a therapist. So she was basically venting, saying that deaf people need therapy too, which I believe is true. Watching that show, that girl, Alyssa, she was like, I have daddy issues. And she was going from man to man to man. And the black guy's like, oh, she's not a girl who goes to guy to guy to guy. But in the show, she was. And she may have some trauma. And that other girl who dropped out, Cheyenne, I think it was her who she said she was molested. And I totally understand that. And she said her family doesn't talk about it. They swept it under the rug. So like a lot of people, a lot of deaf people probably have went through traumatic experiences because they could not talk to their family about it, or they felt like they could not, you know, really fight against things that happened, if you get what I'm saying. So yeah, guys, I really like the show, but I really wish they showed more people, more culture, instead of these like 5 people. Yeah. And it was interesting, and I really hope I could pick up back ASL. But like the thing is, like I was really trying to see if I could remember words, but I was reading most of it. I was reading most of the caption on the TV because I couldn't remember much. And when they speak fast, I cannot understand. But it's the same for them. If a deaf person is in a situation with hearing people, it's sometimes hard for them to read lips because it's one person, one person, one person, one person. So it's very hard. Also, that boy, I can't remember his name, but he was like he flushed his hearing aid down the toilet when the hearing aid cost so much. Like, couldn't you return it? And then the black guy's like, that's white people's problems. And I'm like, what? He's like, my mama would have smacked me and she's black and short. And I was like, yes, that would have been me. Like, what you say? You wasting money? Hey. Also, I think they should have talked about quotas because I do hear, I don't know if the one of that black boys was not deaf, but I think they should have talked about quotas. So quotas. Quotas is kid of deaf adults. And I'm pretty sure quotas go to Gallaudet. So I feel if there's another season, they should bring quotas. A good film, if you want to know, is on Omelette, a YouTube channel. It's about a deaf girl who is a coda, and she is interested in a deaf guy, and she's trying to find her place between the hearing and deaf world, see where she fits. It's about a black girl, and it's the guy in the foster family who plays the deaf guy. So watch that. So if you watch Deaf You, comment down below and tell me what you thought about it. And if you are into deaf culture, comment down below as well. Yeah. So guys, thanks so much for watching. Hope you're enjoying my vlogtober series. Bye, ciao, adios, au revoir. See you later. Like, comment, share with a friend, and subscribe.